here's how to quickly build the VelociRAX Max, along with the tools you'll need to build your rack. The VelociRAX Max is going to come in 3 separate boxes. We're going to start with the largest box first, opening it up and taking out this piece, which is called your hitch assembly, and inserting it into your hitch until the pinholes line up. Now we're going to go back to your box and get this bag right here, which has a locking hitch pin and a bolt, which we're going to ignore for now, taking out your locking hitch pin, unlocking it, and sliding it through your hitch, locking it once again with the lock face pointed out. The 2 keys that come with it are unique to your lock, so don't lose them. The first tool we're going to use is a 17mm wrench, tightening the anti-rattle bolt to 25 foot-pounds or until you start getting some firm tension, doing a quarter turn more. Remove the center post from the box along with the paper instructions, unwrapping the center post and removing the plastic covering as well as the bubble wrapped end piece. Remember the bolt I said would come back to? Grab that along with the 2 washers and nut, placing 1 washer on the bolt already, then placing the center post onto the hitch assembly. Push the bolt through the hitch assembly and center post, attaching a washer and the nut on the other end, tightening it by hand until you can't any further. Now grab 2 24mm wrenches, tightening the center bolt to 45 foot-pounds, ensuring there's no side-to-side wiggle between the center post and the hitch assembly. Now it's time to move on to your second box. Go ahead and open this up, and on the top you're going to find a long piece of metal wrapped in cardboard. We don't need this now, but it'll be important later, so go ahead and set this aside. Go ahead and remove the remaining cardboard inserts, making sure to save your bag of bolts, as well as the top bar, then the bottom bar. Now let's open up your bag of bolts, in which we'll find 2 smaller bags full of bolts. Grab the ones with the rubber hooks in them and set that aside for later. Now let's empty the other bag. Inside of this, you're going to find 4 bolts, 2 long bolts and 2 short bolts. Since we're installing the bottom bar first, we're going to grab 4 washers, 2 nuts, and the 2 short bolts. Add a washer to both of these bolts, and then we're going to grab our bottom bar, removing the plastic covering and lining it up with the mounting bracket. We're then going to push the bolts through from top to bottom and then add a washer and a nut to the end of each bolt, hand tightening it until you can't anymore. Now grab your 18 and 19mm wrench, tightening each bolt to 7 foot-pounds, ensuring that you're not over tightening it as this can deform the bar. Now grab the remaining 4 washers, 2 nuts, and 2 bolts, placing a washer on each of the bolts. Remove the plastic covering from the top bar, placing it in the mounting bracket so that the metal anchors are facing towards the car and the model and serial number sticker is facing down. If mounted properly, the top bar should be longer on the left-hand side than the right-hand side. Now you can insert both bolts, adding both a washer and a nut to the end of each one, tightening it by hand until you can't any further. Once again, grab your 18 and 19mm wrench, tightening each bolt until they're between 16 and 18 foot-pounds. Now let's move on to your third and final box. Go ahead and get that opened up, and inside you're going to find tire baskets and a bag full of straps and bolts. Let's focus on the bag for now. Remove the bolts from the bag, separating the washers and the nuts from the bolts. Then go ahead and add a washer onto each bolt. This will save us time later when we're installing each of the tire baskets. Now that this is done, let's grab 2 washers, 2 nuts, and 2 bolts, returning back to our box to grab our first tire basket. Remove the bubble wrap covering and place your tire basket onto the top bar of the rack, facing towards the right. Insert your bolts from the back of the car so that the threads are facing outwards. Place a washer and a nut on the end of each bolt, once again tightening it by hand until you can't any further. Grab 2 13mm wrenches, tightening each bolt to no more than 6 foot-pounds or until the basket has no more wiggle, ensuring that you don't over-tighten as this can deform the bar. Repeat these steps with each remaining tire basket until all tire baskets are securely attached. Now you can grab your straps, pressing one end firmly against the anchor that is not above the tire stop, stretching it until it firmly attaches. Repeat this step on each remaining anchor on both the bottom and top bar until there are no more straps remaining. The only thing left in the bag should be these brake bands, which should be saved for later and used to engage your bike's brakes when on the rack to reduce motion. Finally, remove the damper pin, moving the damper bracket so it's flush on the center post between the 2 tabs, reinserting the damper pin all the way. Insert your stopper pin into either of the 2 slots, depending on how far you want your rack to lower, making sure to engage the pin lock. Now your rack should be fully assembled and ready to go. To test this, pull the release lever, and since there are no bikes on the rack, give the baskets a tug to help the rack come down and test the dampers. After that, if everything looks good, push the rack upright and it'll automatically lock back into place. Remember that long metal bracket I said to set aside and would come back to later? Well, let's go back to that. This bracket allows you to mount and use your rack in the garage, so if that's something that interests you, keep watching. If not, you're good to go. Let's go back to the bag with the rubber hooks. Go ahead and open that up and organize it in front of you. Grab 1 washer, 1 nut, and 1 rubber hook. Twist on the nut until it reaches the rubber base. After that's done, place 1 washer on top of it. Remove the plastic covering from the mounting bracket and you'll notice there are 4 holes on each end. Because this is a 4 rack, we're going with the second to last. Insert the rubber hook into this hole and then add a washer and a nut, tightening it by hand until it's fully tightened. Repeat these steps on the other side using the same hole. Once that's done, line up both rubber hooks so they're facing the same direction. Holding the rubber hook in place, use a 16mm wrench to tighten the nut until neither rubber hook easily rotates. Once you're done, your garage mounting bracket should look like this, and you'll know you've done it right if it perfectly hangs off of 2 of your tire baskets. To learn how to properly install your mounting bracket into the garage, click the video on the screen or linked down below in the description. Otherwise, get out there and enjoy your VelociRAX Max.